Hello everybody, welcome back. It is time to start seeds. Not really, but kind of for me. I have already started a lot, as you probably know. I shouldn't be starting them until Valentine's Day. We are currently in the last week of January, right now that I'm filming this. But I wanted to show you what I've done so far and some things not to do. So let's check that out. Here we have 2 tomatoes. They were both volunteers. I actually did not mean to plant them. They came from soil that I had reused from last year. These 2 are exactly the same age and have been exposed to exactly the same environment, but this one is doing a lot better than this one. You can tell the leaves are a little bit dried up. That is from leaving it out a little bit too long after dark. I do take them in the evening. I just couldn't get to it quite in time. But this one, let me try and get him over here. Was doing totally fine. Like I said, they're the same age and were out for exactly as long. But he is not doing as good. And that is because he has not been getting enough sunlight. When I potted this one up before that one because that one had been bigger in the beginning. And I thought that I was doing the right thing in potting it up, but I quickly realized that he couldn't fit on the seed starting shelf with the light in the pot. It just didn't fit. So I had to put him on the floor, and it just didn't get enough sunlight. It got really leggy. As you can see, it had been flush against the soil. Got really leggy. It's really weak, a really thin stem. Not doing good. That one I kept in the original pot a lot longer. I can't remember now how long, but I just potted him up like a week ago. And you can tell it's a lot healthier. It's gotten a lot more sunlight, and it's just all around healthier. So I am going to put this one out of its misery. It's just not going to work. At this point, the leaves are damaged. It just doesn't feel healthy. The leaves are really light colored, and it's just not going to be worth it. I'm a little bit bummed, but it's totally my fault anyway. I didn't think through what I was doing. And I already have that one. I have another one growing. It's just a seedling. I just started it like 2 weeks ago. So, are you ready for the worst thing in the world? Oh, I didn't even mean to do that. Good thing I wanted to. I mean, look, it just snapped right off. So I'm gonna keep the roots in. They'll decompose in there. But yeah, I'm gonna take it to the compost bin and start over. We are now in the seed starting room, aka my junk room, for anyone who's new and has not seen my giant junk room. I have started my first round of tomatoes and peppers. Like I mentioned earlier, usually kind of D-Day is Valentine's Day. That's when it's, I think 8 weeks before our last frost date projected. And again, we are in zone 7A in North Carolina. So that's kind of where our rule of thumb kind of lies usually. So even though around February 14th, which is in like 2 weeks now, that's when usually it should be safe to start. For the past couple years, we haven't even gotten a frost that late. Last year I was able to plant 2 weeks ahead of that, and I was really glad that I staggered all of my, especially my tomatoes and peppers, the way that I did, which is how I'm doing them now. The other benefit of staggering them instead of doing them all at one time is when they will all be at peak production at different times. So what ended up happening last year, I did them in I think like 4 successions. I had early, on time, and then a little bit later, and then like a late season one. We have a really long growing season. Oh, my nose is itchy. Oh, sorry. We have a really long growing season. So I can have early tomatoes and I can have late tomatoes. In the peak season, it's really... Okay, what was I talking about? Dropping blossoms in the heat of the summer. We get really hot summers, and in the peak of it, long story short, the tomatoes and peppers drop their blossoms, and so we don't get fruit for a period of time. When I stagger them a little bit, the plants are at different stages of life, and I've found that usually the younger ones, I want to say, do a little bit better. We still don't get a lot in the peak, but by doing that, the biggest benefit is we get end of season tomatoes. So even if they are not producing in the heat of the summer, around end of August, beginning of September, we get a huge round of tomatoes, and it's kind of like our last hurrah. And if we don't get a frost for a little bit longer than our projected, I think, I can't remember now. I want to say we usually don't get a frost until October. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm pretty sure. And I mean, we will get tomatoes up until then. Even when it frosts, we still have them producing. The ones that I had started, like the ones that I have right now that I'm starting in the beginning of February, end of January, they are probably not going to last through October. They're probably going to dwindle in like the middle of summer. But the ones that I start in, the beginning of March or mid-March, those will be the ones that really take off during the end of the year. Another thing that I do, which is kind of irrelevant to these, but depending on how everything does, I never know. I could totally screw all of this up and leave them outside and ruin everything. I mean, there's still a chance that I could totally screw everything up. And if I do that, or if we get ravaged by bugs, or something catastrophic happens, the other thing I like to do is when I pick the suckers on the tomato, you can literally just pop those in the ground, and a lot of times they'll grow. That's a really great way if you're kind of low on tomato plants to get a whole nother round. I did that last year and it worked really, really well. So we always have a backup plan. But I wanted to show you, because it is still early, and on the off chance that we do get a late frost and I have to keep them in, the big reason why I don't want to do too many is because of space. By the time we hit so Valentine's Day is when we start sowing them, and then around my birthday, April 14th, then that's kind of when our last frost date usually is, and that's when we plant outside. If we get cold weather then, and I have to keep them in a little bit longer, at that point, they're going to be very big. They're going to be really big, and I'm not going to have a lot of room. And that's a big reason why I want to keep not too many early, if that makes sense. So I started 6 tomatoes. I have an extra early cherry tomato that I started mid-January. I have 6 pepper plants. And then I went ahead and started my ground cherries, because I love ground cherries and they take forever to start. I mean, they take like weeks to even germinate. But yeah, the point is I started 6 tomatoes and 6 peppers to start off with. So let me show you what I planted. It's not much to see. Here they are. They have not germinated yet, oh, you probably can't even see. I thought I had the great idea to label them with old Christmas labels, but they're not sticking onto the plastic very well. They haven't gotten wet at all. I don't know if it's just the type of plastic and the type of adhesive, but I thought it was a genius idea, but it really turned out to not really be. But here are my tomatoes and my peppers, my cherry tomato. He's starting to get true leaves. And then there are my ground cherries. But for the tomatoes, I did, if you can see, I did 1 variety per cell. I did not keep track of the peppers because I think I screwed them up. But I did San Marzano, And then I did beefsteak. I did, oh no, not that one. Sorry, I have them all over here. I'm just trying to go in the order. I did black cherry. I did this. I've never done that kind of tomato before, but it looked really good on the Burpee website, so I am trying it now. The kind that I have tried that's very similar to that are the Big Mama. If you watched my favorite tomato video, these are my favorite tomatoes like ever to grow. I did one of those, and then I did one yellow pear. That kind of gives me a nice little variety. I have 2 cherries, and that one is just a Tommy, or no, it's not a Tommy Toe. It's the Sweet 100. And then some of the sauce tomatoes over here, and then the beefsteak, nice slicer, really versatile. I'm really happy with starting out with these. And then the peppers that I did, I know I did one habanero. I think I just did one of each of these two. One green and red bell pepper. I'm sure you all know the green ones turn different colors. So any kind of bell pepper you have starts out as green. These turn to red. I did one of the ancho grandes. Those are hot. I did this one. It says that it's a hot pepper, but it specifically says that it's not a hot pepper. I'm not sure what to expect. I can't remember why. I think I got this thinking that it would be a good spice pepper. I'm not sure. I did, I think 2 of these by accident. I didn't mean to, but I got confused. But I know I did at least one of those. I did a Jimmy Nardello. How many is that? And then the one other one is this one. I think it's just an orange bell pepper pretty much. So those are the ones that I planted early. We will see. This is the kind of ground cherry that I planted. I love them. These seeds are kind of old. I think I got them in 2017. The end of 2017 is when I got these. But yeah, so that is what I have. I am probably going to do a whole nother round probably next week, which will be around the on-time ones. I want to go ahead and get them out, even though it's a little bit early. A couple days is not going to matter. It's really not going to matter. And I want to be able to have them in a good place for when my son's birthday party is coming up. I've talked about it 1,000,001 times. I'm just really stressed out about it. I want to have them in a good place because when they are germinating, you really have to keep up on watering them. And I'm afraid I am not going to get to it if I get too close to party time and I'm too overwhelmed and I don't want to ruin everything. But I think that's everything for now. The only other thing that I wanted to do in this video that I didn't, it'll have to wait till another time, I got new seed starting lights. I think they are like the purple kind, which are pretty cool. The ones I have now are literally just regular old shop lights. Nothing special about them. And they have worked really well, but it was just time for an upgrade. I got a gift card for Christmas and I wanted to reinvest in these seeds because I do not have time for any failures. I just don't, and I could tell my plants were getting pretty leggy. I needed to renew the bulbs anyway, so I would have had to spend money anyway. But yeah, right now I don't have time for failure. Usually I don't care, it's not a big deal, but I am due in the middle of May, if not earlier, hopefully not later, and I just can't restart everything. I've planned it out, because you know you can plan everything around pregnancy, right? I planned it out as best I can to hopefully make it as easy and seamless for myself, so that's why I went ahead and invested. But I will update you when I put those up. Hopefully I have a little bit of time since nothing has really germinated yet. and I will talk to you later. But I hope you like this video and subscribe to our channel to kind of follow us, because we are, oh, sorry, that was shaky. We are really hitting the ground, ready to roll. I have a lot of ideas for videos. I'm sorry if they've been a little bit, probably for you guys it hasn't been, it probably hasn't been anything different for you guys. I usually like to do my videos in advance, like a couple days in advance, so that I make sure I have them out at 7:30 Monday and Thursday. But this week, I know that my Monday video is going out a little bit late. It was Super Bowl last night. Today is Monday. I know that because today, right now, is Monday, and it is 3:19 in the afternoon, and the video is still not up. But I will finish it up, upload it, and put it out for you guys, hopefully for tonight. And I have my Thursday video already, but I'm still really gonna try to do Monday and Thursday. It just might not be in the morning. One day I will get back on track. I swear, after my son's birthday, that's gonna be the goal. But I hope you have a really great day. Go follow us on Instagram. I update every day, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye.